We begin Sunday across the pond in foggy London town as the Saints take on the Dolphins in what surely will be the game to make football big in England.
Hello, sir. It's your butler, Jay Butler, here to serve you your breakfast of turnovers and figgy porridge.
Jay Cutler, the turnover butler, hands the game over to the tourist Saints, and they take a beautiful European picture with their Alvin camera. Saints go marching 20-0. What?
All the kids in LA are tripping on golf syrup as Jared puts the pro in promethazine and throwed all over the Cowboys secondary. The Rams leaned on Todd Gurley and Cooper's styrofoam cup of mud. Sean McVay is celebrating with Dirty Sprite as the Rams have chopped and screwed their way to a 3-1 start.
Fumble!
Hey, good, go off the way!
The Battle of Ohio gives us the age-old proverb. If Andy Dalton throws 4 touchdowns against the Browns, does it make a sound? Hugh Michael Jackson needs to take a long, hard look at the man in the mirror as the Browns continue their perfect season. Looks like it will be a long December for the Isaiah Counting Crowells. Bengals flush the Browns 31-7.
The New York Football Giants! Tyrod James Taylor brought the fire and rain down south and torched Atlanta like General Sherman. LaShawn McCoy Como Va kept it shady despite being 7 inches from the midday sun. Dr. Dan Quinn, medicine woman, has his work cut out for him as Muhammad Ali Sanu couldn't keep pace with Charles Cassius Clay, getting knocked out midway through the contest and ending Atlanta's perfect season. Hey, Teach, I got a question for you.
Yeah, boom?
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Some spread.
Whoop! Whoop! Dalvin, Simon, Theodore, Bridgewater.
Dalvin and the Chipmunks are cursed by a witch doctor as the Vikings battle the injury bug for yet another year. And folks, this team just doesn't pass Mike Zimmer's eyeball test. Lions thrash the Vikings 14-7.
Cam Putin had a great day rushing, comrade, and the Panthers beat the Patriots all the way back to the USSR, 33-30.
You can throw out the record books when the Steelers come to the Charm City. The speedy Juju Smith-Schuster extended his fast from Saturday to Sunday, and let me be the first to wish all my Jewish friends a happy and healthy new year. The Schwam says shalom. Steelers 26, Ravens half a l'chaim.
They're not gonna get him. The Jaguars look like they wake and blanked as they struggled all day in the Meadowlands. Below, mighty Morphin Powell Rangers ran up and down the field, and the Jets are suddenly good? Huh? Todd Bowles has a slightly cooler seat. Jets 23, Jaguars 20.
What? Boom. Larry David Fitzgerald makes a pretty good catch to give the Cardinals a victory. Hey, what's the deal with these new overtime rules? Cardinals 18, 49ers 15.
Lamar Miller Lite turned the Texans' Darty into a Narty. Deshaun Elementary, my dear Watson, solved the Titans' riddle all afternoon long, and the big Hawaiian pizza. Marcus Mariota was left with a tender little hammy. Hold the pineapple. Texans drop a 50 burger.
Did someone say burger?
Houston 57, Titans 14.
Jason Kelsey Grammer opened up some kirsty alleys for Wendell Small Woody Harrelson till he was Ted Danson in the end zone, and George Carson Wentz is feeling mighty comfortable cheersing with the Philly faithful. Eagles 26, Chargers 24.
And speaking of the Eagles, standing on a corner, Jameis Winston, Tampa, Florida, such a fine sight to see. It's Nick Folk, my lord, in a flatbed four, kicking a field goal over JPP. Come on, OJ, it's your release day. And the New York Football Giants played like queefs today.
Derek Carr drove himself up Brokeback Mountain to the Mile High City, but C.J. Anderson was the one running downhill.
Hey, Boom, that's ironic because Derek Carr also broke his back today.
Vance Joseph continues to be having the time of his life out there on that field on Sunday. Broncos 16, the Raiders 10.
The Legion of You're Absolutely Right Boom is officially back as the Seahawks cook Jacoby Brisket low and slow all Sunday night in a QBBBQ. That's a palindrome for all you kids out there.
Whoa.
Someone turn the light off for Chuck Pagano as it looks like his time is running out in Indy.
All right, week 4 is in the books.
I've got that nice, good boomer's back sore throat.
Yeah,
that's how you know it's a football Sunday.
I started to cough right away. By the way, do you have this? We need to actually put out a PSA for this. The football-induced headache. I don't know if you get this, but like from Saturday at noon until Sunday night when you just stare at a screen. I need my Felix Gray glasses. You stare at a screen all day, and your eyes just like start to rot. And you're like, but I can't really actually turn it off.
Something, I don't know what it is about football, but if you drink 20 beers on Saturday and 20 beers on Sunday, you start to get a headache when you stop drinking and watching football.
Yeah.
So it's totally a football-related headache. I had it last night, and I had it again at about 10 o'clock this morning. But then you just watch more football and it gets rid of it.
Well, and you do the thing where you're like, oh, wait, you know what? I'll go walk my dog to get away from all these screens for a second, and then you walk your dog for 20 minutes while just staring at your phone, refreshing scores.
I got so mad at Leroy today because he was barking at me when it was an important part of the game. I was like, Leroy, you don't know shit about football. And then I realized, oh, wait, he's a dog.
Yeah, he's a dog. So
he still doesn't know shit about football.
He still doesn't know shit. All right, so week 4. I think the question in everyone's mind, are the Patriots hitting the panic button?
Hank, if the season ended today, fun fact, Buffalo Bills make the playoffs.
Are number 1 in the AFC East. The Patriots are tied with the New York Jets.
Belichick's coach for his job. There's really nothing else you can say.
Just as we all expected, the Patriots are 2-2. But seriously, like, what do you think? Your defense sucks, huh?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Stephen Gilmore
made Cam Newton look good again.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do. It hasn't happened in like a year and a half.
Now, is this Bill Belichick being the master puppeteer and making Matt Patricia undesirable for other teams to hire away this offseason?
Yep. He always does do that.
Because guess what? No one's going to want to interview him after this shit. So
it's true.
He'll be there another year.
It's true. The other big story, I have a stat for you. Joe Flacco, Eli Manning, Phil Rivers, 3 Super Bowls combined between the 3 of them. I like to do that so Phil Rivers feels good. Okay. 2-10. 2-10 between the 3 of them.
Well,
that's bad. So this might be officially the year of that like crop of quarterbacks. It's like basically the year that the quarterbacks came in right after Peyton and Tom.
Right.
They're all dying.
And Ben Roethlisberger is probably going to retire at the end of the season.
Yeah,
seriously. That talk's picking up a little
bit. We're losing a lot of good men out there.
And fortunately, there are a lot of really strong young quarterbacks in the NFL that are ready to step up and take their place.
Jared Goff.
Shit.
Jared Goff is good.
Jared Goff, league MVP candidate.
Yes. Jared Goff, actually good. I love seeing this because everyone who jumped off the Jared Goff bandwagon, you go fuck yourself. But with that said, the Rams jerseys are the most annoying jerseys in the world.
Well, they had it like mismatched.
They have a mismatch.
So that was honestly just an equipment failure on their part. They brought the wrong helmets.
Someone told me, and this I never fact checked this, but someone replied to me saying I was so upset about these helmets, which I was, saying that the league doesn't let you change your jerseys like too many times in a certain amount of years, and that's just one of those facts I'm just going to run with. So sure. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
For like 20 years.
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe that's the time. It's 20 years.
I've been playing a lot of Madden recently, and there are like 8 or 9 different uniform combinations.
Well,
so I'm pretty sure they could have figured out one that works.
They did like they basically are like the shithead 12-year-old kid who's like, I'm just gonna put this 1970s helmet with this 2000 era jersey and white socks.
They have the Bill Belichick like dice that they throw out to determine how long the sweatshirt needs to be.
Do you think it's fair to say that this is still Jeff Fisher's team?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah, no. McVay is winning with Jeff Fisher's players.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, it's a bad situation because, like, obviously Jeff didn't get enough chances to develop his guys, and so somebody else comes in and they take advantage of it, which is. And then our guy down in at LSU, Coach O. Coach O, unfortunately, is playing with Les Miles as players still, so that you can't put that loss on him.
This is bad. I mean, you can't say we didn't warn you. Coach O is the greatest interim head coach of all time. Of all time. You give him some guys that aren't getting the most out of themselves. You give him some guys that are maybe like, lackadaisical. They're not listening to the coach anymore. Coach O will whip them into shape in 2 seconds. You give Coach O the team from day one.
Well, I have a recommendation for Coach O. You're about accountability. We know that about you. Just fire yourself and name yourself interim head coach.
I like it. Yeah.
That would be a
Just
big
whip 'em all
football
up.
guy move. Be like, I hereby resign, but I'm the only one that I know that can whip this team back into order.
And I hate the people out there who are bashing Coach O right now. Okay, we know it. We know that Coach O is maybe not the greatest coach. He's a great interim coach. He's not the greatest head coach.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say about Coach O. Like, we don't know how good Troy is.
True.
This could be Troy's year.
True. Who has Troy played? Look
We
at their
don't know.
schedule.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, let's go through their schedule real quick.
Why they beat LSU?
Yeah, so
That's
they
a quality.
must be
So
good.
they're a good
yeah,
fucking
so they're
team.
a good team.
Yeah,
Right.
they're no slouch.
Right.
And he was homecoming too, which is extra sad.
Yeah. While we're on, that tweet was stay classy, Troy. Come on, that was a fucked up tweet. They were like, thanks for having us on homecoming.
Appreciate the invite.
We also had Clemson, which is Clemson is a force of nature. They're unbelievable, and somehow Clemson is making Alabama. I mean, Alabama's just kicking the shit out of everyone, but it's like it's not even fun. Clemson's just going on the road and kicking the shit out of good teams.
Right. Dabo Swinney has become basically like Nick Saban with higher T.
Yeah.
So Saban's got that old thing going on where he I half expect him to start doing like prostate commercials next year. So he's like fading a little bit. His energy's going down.
Dabo
Swinney has yet to hit his prime football guy years.
Dabo is millennial Nick Saban. That's it, right there.
He's Nick Saban with a smartphone.
Yeah, he's Nick Saban who sometimes lets the players listen to rap music.
Nick Saban that has avocados in the locker room.
Yeah, maybe some pea toast.
Instead of just nails.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Instead of just packets of mayonnaise and white bread.
Mayo and Wonder Bread. We also got to see almost 2 ties today, so it was such a tie tease. And I know you're a big fan of ties.
I love ties.
I love a good NFL tie because football guys don't know how to react to a game where they don't win or lose. Like, they'd almost rather lose a game than tie a game.
Well, and the best part about the tie is it's so satisfying in the moment, but it lives on for the rest of the year because you do that thing where you keep looking at the standings.
The one fucks
and you're like,
everything
what
up.
the fuck? Like, is this team ahead of this team even though they have the same amount of wins, but one has a tie? It just it's basically you just stare at math for the rest of the year, which we're not math guys, but it's sometimes nice to flex the brain.
No, getting that extra one in there, and every team every year there will be a team that ends 8-7-1.
Yeah,
and you're like, and they're always in the playoff hunt until the very last week when they lose to a team that goes.
Yeah, because you're like, don't forget about the tie.
And then my dumb brain is like, wait, is 8-7-1 better than 9-7?
Who knows?
I don't know.
No one
got
knows.
the same amount of numbers.
No one knows. We also two almost ties. One where we had the new rules finally with the long drive from the 49ers, field goal, and the Cardinals win on a walk-off touchdown. That was awesome. That was how overtime should work. That was finally we got it right. That's exactly what NFL overtime should look like.
And I also think this week politics and the NFL kind of they stayed in their own lanes a little bit. Like,
finally.
Well, what happened ever since Jerry Jones did that big choreographed knee thing where he was like, "I'm Jerry, I'm gonna be a
camera guy, stand right there,
front and center of this protest with all these young fellers."
Yeah.
So ever since he took the wind out of the sails of that movement, it's kind of gone back to normal a little bit, which I like. Although I guarantee you, tomorrow and Tuesday, you're going to have people taking the ratings and then molding them to fit whatever narrative they want to have.
People are walking away en masse.
And then some
look at
people
the
are
ratings.
like, well, that was actually a good Sunday night rating for 2 shitty teams from small markets.
Yeah.
No one's going to look at it objectively.
No.
You're not going to change. Here's one thing I've learned about 2017. Everyone's mind's it's already made up about everything.
Yes. You go online just to reconfirm what you already have decided.
People stop changing their minds about things in the year 2012.
Yes.
You will forever be that person that you were.
It's 2016.
It's 2016.
But here's the good news. Politics will probably come back into play on Monday with all the ratings, but Monday Night Football, Chiefs, Redskins, that's not problematic.
It's not. No. So thankfully we can just focus on
Good.
the
Just have
on-field
some
product,
fun.
and nobody will be able to object.
I'm so
to anything.
excited for the camera to pan in with that just one fat dude from Kansas City who wears the ancient tribal headpiece, and it's just like, what?
It's always
okay.
it's always the whitest dudes.
I
in
fucking
the stands
love it. Oh
that
yeah,
wear those.
I mean, he's an all-time fan.
At least give me an Italian
all-time fan. Maybe.
Yeah.
They have a no, they had the Mafia in Kansas City.
Oh, sure, yeah. I've been watching a lot of Fargo recently.
Yeah,
Mafia's
one of the families. All right, let's get to our Who's Back. Before we do that, I want to talk to you guys about SeatGeek. MLB playoffs are back. SeatGeek has everything for you. Go download the SeatGeek app right now. SeatGeek saves you time and money by searching multiple ticket sites to compare prices and find amazing deals and to get you the most bang for your buck. SeatGeek grades every ticket based on value to help you immediately identify the best seats that fit your budget. Plus, every purchase is fully guaranteed, so you can shop for tickets on SeatGeek with confidence. And it doesn't end with sports. SeatGeek also has plenty of concert, comedy, and theater tickets available too. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code TAKE, T-A-K-E. That's promo code TAKE for $10 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Do it right now. We're giving you a free beer with the $10 off. You can go buy one while you watch your team in the playoffs. Download that SeatGeek app. Put in promo code TAKE. We have a fly in the studio. And I'm just going to throw that out there. This is fucked up.
I mean, if you look back at Breaking Bad, the best episode was the one where they just spent the entire time looking for a fly. Nobody died or did drugs.
That episode sucked.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for explaining.
Well, I couldn't remember because like everyone says I feel like most people are like, that was the greatest episode. It was a masterpiece.
No, it was a fly.
Yeah, but there's someone out there who says it was a masterpiece.
There was a fly. Skip Bayless.
Yeah. No, it was like that fucking Sepinwall dude.
Skip Bayless definitely thinks that
Sepinwall dude's like, that was a masterpiece. You don't understand the show.
Yeah. If you're Breaking Bad, just kill somebody.
Yeah.
Do drugs.
All right, let's do Who's Back of the Week. A team who's back, pink, the color pink. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We have Saturdays are for the boob shirts now on sale in the Barstool Sports store. You got to go buy them, and 100% of the proceeds go to stopping breast cancer.
That is 10 times as many percent as Roger Goodell contributes.
Yes.
So not to pat ourselves on the back, we're 10 times better than the best human being on the planet.
Absolutely. So go do that, Barstool Sports store. Hank, why don't you start?
Okay. My Who's Back of the week is baseball and people caring about their respective teams because the regular season's over and the playoffs have begun.
Playoff baseball is the best.
All right, so we all have teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
How about that? All right, we got some invested.
Let's fucking do it. Max Scherzer's might be a little hammy.
Might have Scherzer also on the show this week.
Yeah, we do.
Something to stay tuned for.
We do. Great interview.
Tease.
Is that your only Who's Back?
Yeah.
That's it, just baseball.
I mean, I respect the rules. I only do one.
All right,
Who's
good
Back.
job.
It's not Who's Back.
Okay, I'll go next.
Who's back?
My first Who's Back is Mark Trestman. Mark Trestman's back. His CFL team is in first place. So he is in line for Coach of the Year up there. This is exactly where Mark Trestman needs to be in his life.
You're triggering me
Big Cat's
now.
fuming
You're
over there.
triggering me. I'm chewing on my pen.
He's a great CFL coach. He just needs an extra down per series. Like, that was his problem. He came to America. He's like, how do I coach a 4-down system? All his playbook relied on only gaining 2 yards per play. So that really wasn't his fault. My other Who's Back of the week is Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
Eddie Lacy had a huge touchdown run to. Oh wait, no. It was actually another running back with dreadlocks.
Yes,
the old braids.
The old Al Michaels. I love Al Michaels, but all the greats, you know when they start to lose it, and when the Seahawks, whoever was it, McKissick or something, what's his name, guys?
Something like that.
Some Seahawks running back.
Not Carson.
Yeah, not Carson. It's the other guy.
McKissick.
It's McKissick. Yeah, he ran for a touchdown very, very fast, and Al Michaels said, "Oh, that's Eddie Lacy," and you're like, "Okay, Al might be losing it."
Well, yeah, because not only did it not really look like Eddie, besides the hair, it was also 8 times faster than Eddie Lacy's ever run in his life.
Ever.
No doubt about it.
Ever.
Yes.
So, is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
I just got 2.
All right. My Whomst backs is the first one, Wildcat. The Wildcat is back. So is it a run?
Wild this weekend?
Is it a run?
Oh.
Is it a pass? No, it's always 100% of the time a run.
Well, occasionally, like once out of every 100 times, I'll have somebody throw a pass, and the running back pass is always just you're on pins and needles. When it happens.
Short
arm it.
That used to happen, but then Antoine Randall is no longer in the league, so now it's 100% times a run.
No, I saw Ronnie Brown throw a couple interceptions.
He's also out of the league.
Yeah.
So we've lost all of our Wildcat QBs, but we had 2 special ones because we had Matt Ryan trip over himself trying to get out wide, and then we had Jay Cutler in the ultimate Jay Cutler moment, just stand literally with his hands on his hips while pretending to be a wide receiver in the Wildcat.
They should just give him pockets in his pants that he can put his hands in.
I said before the show that I might be ready to admit that the NFL just isn't for Jay Cutler anymore, but I'm not. Nope. I'm going back.
Nope.
I think if you just look back, Julius Thomas just he should have caught that first touchdown instead of an interception, and it's like that was sliding windows.
Well,
it's a butterfly effect. Everything would have changed.
The whole first drive looked good for Cutler until they got to like the 5-yard line and they threw that fade, and Julius Thomas continued to run out of bounds.
Yes,
he's still running away from the ball for some reason. And then it wasn't all Jay's fault because the weather changed a little bit. Yeah, it got more of that English fog. You know what they say about the weather in London.
Yep.
If you don't like it, just wait 5 minutes.
Yep.
It's a classic.
They do say
it's
that.
a London
they
saying.
Say that about London.
I would not blame that on Jay Cutler. But what I've realized is that the backup announcer crews on Fox are actually pretty good. And so Jay, we were looking forward to him getting up in the booth.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to be the number 2 or number 3 guy now because he's gone back into the league.
He'll be there.
I don't know. I think we have another
say that.
I think we have another 2 years of Jay in the
Tiki
NFL.
and Rondé did a game together. Mm-hmm. That was wild. Then they kissed.
Then they made out with each other's private parts.
All right. My second whom's back is finally vest weather. The weather has finally turned. It's that you get outside and you just taste it in the air, that crispness. Mm-hmm. I think I likened to it last year. If you have a dog, you know that dog weather, where your dog is just super hyper because dogs can't deal with super, super hot. So then when it gets to 50s, they get all their energy back. That's me. I'm a dog who gets all his energy back. Put on a sweatshirt, don't look as fat. Put on a vest, don't look even as fat as that. And boom, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, so it's fall now. When you step outside, occasionally you get the odor of just burning leaves.
Yes.
Wood. Whereas
wood.
In the spring, the first day you step outside and you get a random barbecue, that's that it's about to be on.
Yeah.
That this is now a season.
Yes.
And so that's the one clue that you have in fall. You step outside, you've got your vest, you get the burning smell,
Finally
and you're
happened.
You know what? I'd prefer to drink a beer inside.
Yeah.
It's that's
maybe a dark beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a nice little change of pace.
Delicious. All right. That is my hoops back. Yeah. You want one more?
No.
I'll do one more.
We can do another one.
I'll do one more. I got one more.
Ooh, Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is back.
Okay.
This week.
I got another. What is he back for?
Just people are talking about Ray.
Okay.
Ray is
in the double knee.
Because he took 2 knees for Jesus.
Yeah, yes.
Which is I saw one guy wearing a Ray Lewis jersey, but he had put tape over it because he's mad at Ray Lewis for taking knees. So it says you're no longer my hero, Ray Lewis. So they're mad at him for taking knees. It's if you're mad at Aaron Hernandez because he smoked weed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too bad. Ray Lewis, man, living as Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is your idol for that long.
Yeah.
And then you're damn, those 2 knees.
Who can you trust anymore?
That was it. Hey, you get a couple strikes in life. You get second chances, right? Murder.
There are
knees, not okay.
What I've learned is there are no heroes.
Yes.
Just when you think you know somebody,
Roger
they go
Goodell.
and pull a stunt taking an
Roger
Goodell.
Yeah,
Roger Goodell.
He had his hand on his heart for the anthem today. Did you see that?
Good for him.
I do have one more. You want it? Bama debates. Alabama debates are back.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, because they've been killing everyone in the SEC. You know how it used to be is Alabama bad for football or could Alabama beat the Browns? Now we have, could Alabama's second team win the SEC?
Ooh, yeah, because they're deep.
Deep.
Saban just
real deep.
You know what? Saban reloads.
Yes, they got this Hawaiian quarterback. The Hawaiian quarterback, the second string, it would be unbelievable. What if he makes all SEC second team? Because he's playing so much. Yeah.
Right.
He plays in every single game.
What if he made all SEC first team? Is that even a possibility?
Ooh, it could be. His numbers are good.
Embrace debate.
Yeah, he doesn't speak English.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, because he's not from America.
Yeah,
he's from
Alabama
Hawaii.
message board. All right, speaking of Bama, let's get to our football guy of the week. We have 4. Remember, vote for it. We tweeted out from Pardon My Take. Let's start with Bama. Nick Saban. They've been killing everyone, like we said. And in the press conference afterwards, they won 66-3. They've just been blowing out every single team. They scored, I think they won by 50 the game before in the SEC. Wait, Alabama scored at least 50 in 4 of its last 5 SEC games. So someone asked Saban in the post-game press conference, does he look back and marvel at this? And he says, I'm only worried about how many we score in the next game. Mm-hmm. So I don't have any feelings about how many points we scored in the last 5 games or however many SEC games. I'm really worried how many we score in the next game and how we stop the next team that we play. That's the focus on what we need to dominate next.
I don't think Nick Saban worries about anything because I don't think Nick Saban has emotions at all.
No.
I think Nick Saban just exists in a state of I need to dominate.
Yes, dominate everything always. He also got mad at reporters because they weren't speaking correctly into the microphones. So he said, why give the reporters microphones if they can't speak into them properly?
That's a good point. Just raise your voice.
Yeah. So they won 66-3. They're going to find some shit to say fix. You know, it wasn't perfect. It was not
Give him
perfect.
3 points.
Yeah, gave up 3 points. Man,
Do you think like Nick Saban calls Belichick after they give their press conferences and they just kind of like compare notes and they're like, hey, how big of a dick were you to reporters today? And Saban's like, well, I told a guy that he's too fucking dumb to talk into a microphone.
He's too meek.
And
He's too meek to speak up. I really belittled this fucker.
And Belichick's like, yeah, I spat on a guy today.
Yeah, I just
'Cause
mumbled.
I could.
Mumbled, and someone told me to speak up, then I ended the press conference right in his fucking face.
Yeah.
And then they just have a nice laugh.
Belichick said they need to coach better and play better.
That's probably true.
Well, good point.
Yeah.
That's why he is the best.
Yes, that is. That's
Put his
pretty
finger right on it.
simple. Next up, we have the Clemson holdback coach. He is actually an assistant strength and conditioning coach. He was holding back the defensive coordinator, and his name is Adam Smotherman. And he went semi-viral because Venables, the defensive coordinator, actually like slapped his hand away, which is a big-time betrayal of the holdback holdee relationship.
I disagree. I think that's like one of those things where you enter into a contract. It's like I haven't read 50 Shades of Grey, but I'm pretty sure there's like a statement that they sign being like, hey, I'm going to beat the shit out of you just so you know that going in. It's because, this is what we want to do.
Well, they do.
If you're going to be a holdback guy, you have to expect to get slapped around a little bit.
It was great, though, because, I mean, the Adam Smotherman is probably twice the size of the defensive coordinator, and he had that one brief, it was like a split second. He's like, I'm going to fucking punch this guy. And then he's like, wait, this is my job. My job is to hold him back, and if he gets mad, he's not mad at me. He's just mad that he's being held back, and it's not me. It's not to shoot the messenger. It's that kind of situation. And he just went back to holding him back.
This holdback situation has gotten so much play on TV. Like,
it's awesome.
If I'm directing like a shoot for ESPN in one of these games, I'm telling the production team to like always have a camera on the holdback guy at all times. You know how they do that thing every year in the championship game where there are like 5 different ESPNs you can watch or whatever? I want one where it's just holdback guys.
It's like it's a football guy tango. This is like the first dance at a wedding. It's just 2 football guys doing it.
It's amazing. If the NCAA knew what they were doing, they would just like put dog runs on the sidelines and just like hook them up to a leash and run back and forth with it.
The big they should actually to the camera. The spider cam. They should just put leashes on the spider cam, and they just got to run back and forth, tethered. Adam Smotherman, by the way, he's a football guy nominee for 2 other reasons. Someone tweeted out his wedding picture from he's doing the classic hiking the bouquet to his bride, which is great. And we reached out to him. So Liam hit him up and asked if he'd like to come on the podcast, and he replied and said he doesn't want to put himself in front of the team.
I love it.
So
big time football guy.
He denied comment. So perfect football guy. Next up, we have Joe Tiller, former coach of Purdue, who passed away this weekend. We lost a good one. He is a football guy for one, making Purdue good at football. That's very hard to do. Very hard to do. He's 2. He had these comments for his former athletic director. He said, my single biggest criticism about Morgan Burke is he wasn't a football guy, which is, you love that.
Well, that's also just a huge criticism. Of course that was his biggest criticism.
Yes.
It doesn't get any bigger than that.
Yes. And then 3, we have this quote from Joe Tiller that lives on, do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, the way it's supposed to be done, and do it that way every time.
I love it. That is that encapsulates football guys so well, because to them it's just like all you have to do to be great is just go out there and be perfect.
Yeah, every time.
And commit to deciding to being. Actually, I take it back. You have to decide to be perfect.
Yes.
Because football guys think that everything, winning and losing, is about how much you have decided to be a winner.
It's within you.
And that's why they fucking go insane when they lose, because they're like, have I not been deciding to win enough?
Yeah.
And then their minds just go nuts because they can't comprehend.
Coach O's going through
Coach
now.
O is going through.
It's an internal struggle.
He's spending the entire weekend just in the mirror.
Yes.
Just looking at himself and
mumbling
until he's in a staring contest
we ran the ball
against himself.
We ran the ball.
And he's not going to blink.
We got to run the ball some more.
We got to run.
Solution is run ball.
Louisiana State football was about committing and stopping and run the football.
The best part about these quotes, every football guy has one of these quotes. They think they're like Confucius, when really they're just saying, just do your job and do it perfectly, or else I'm going to fucking make you run until you puke.
Yeah.
But that was some big level stuff.
If you want to be a winner, first you have to commit to winning.
Yes.
Every day. No, not every other day. Every second
of every minute of every hour of every day.
Games are won in the seconds that you spend before playing the game.
Before you think about the seconds of when you're thinking about playing the game.
That's right.
That's when they're won. The games are won when you're sleeping.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Don't sleep.
Yeah.
There's
never
another guy. There's
hey,
another
trick
guy.
question, never sleep.
There's always another guy willing to get less sleep than you.
Yeah. Games are won while you're sleeping. Trick question, never ever sleep.
Never sleep
ever.
And work harder at committing.
Yes. And then piss muscle out of yourself because you're so sick.
Rhabdo is just weakness leaving the body.
Yes. And then the last one is the Kent State coach Paul Haynes, who said that he had cancer, and he said that he beat prostate cancer so he could continue to hug his guys.
I love it.
So that's it right there. You beat What's the hardest thing to beat? Cancer.
But
what do you do?
But if you got if you got dudes that you want to go give a hug to, it becomes a lot easier.
You got your boys you want to go coach up. Yep, that becomes a lot easier.
Boys aren't going to hug themselves.
Did we just cure cancer? So anyone who gets cancer, just make them a football coach.
Yeah, become a football coach and then
be
develop
like, hey,
relationships.
You can't coach anymore if you don't beat cancer first.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, that's 1 + 1 = 2 right there.
Well, you know how like humans they fight sickness better if they have animals, which is why they bring like cats and dogs into hospitals sometimes.
Therapy pets.
What's better than having an entire therapy football team?
Yeah, there it is. Let's just give them out. If you get cancer, this is some.
Tennessee's gonna have that.
I'm a little
soon.
Ooh. Tennessee is going to have an opening soon. We could just that could just be the designated cancer, the beating cancer team. So every time someone gets cancer in America, we just give them Tennessee's job.
People forget Chuck Pagano when he was out sick.
Keep the lights on.
They made the playoffs.
Yeah. All right, that is our football guys of the week. We're, like I said, vote for it on Twitter at Pardon My Take. We put up the poll around midday. Let's get to our interview with Matt Forte. Before we do that, wanted to talk to you guys about Stitch Fix. You can tell a guy who's got style. He always looks great and seems confident, like he's ready for anything. Well, that takes a certain skill set not all of us were born with. But now there's an easy way to look better. Let me tell you about Stitch Fix Men. Stitch Fix is a new way to shop for clothes, and it's unbelievably simple. Just go to stitchfix.com and answer some questions about your sizes, what styles you like, and how much you want to spend. Stitch Fix has clothes for every guy and his style. It's not just one type of look. Your personal stylist then uses your preferences and other information you enter to select brand new clothes just for you. Try them out today. You've got nothing to lose. Get started now at stitchfix.com/PMT, and you'll get 25% off when you keep all 5 items in your box. That's stitchfix.com/PMT to get started today. stitchfix.com/PMT for 25% off. Go do it right now. All right, here is former Bears running back and current Jets running back, Matt Forte. All right, we now welcome on Matt Forte, who is an NFL legend running back for the New York Jets, formerly the Chicago Bears. We're here because Matt is working with Comcast and CBS Sports. They're teaming up so you can watch your fantasy team while you watch football. Is that right?
That's true. It's all in one.
Okay.
Like, a lot of people like fantasy all-in-one running backs where you can get catches and
PPR.
Also,
Do you know anybody
PPR.
that plays that way?
I do.
Brian Westbrook.
Darren Sproles.
Yeah.
but he just
Yeah,
got
Darren
hurt.
Sproles. Okay.
Marshall Falk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Great
All those
players.
guys.
So you're watching. You can watch the game and your fantasy stats live.
Live.
That's pretty cool.
It's up to the minute where, any stats or touchdowns and all that stuff comes on the screen up to the minute, and it's cool because you don't have to go on your phone and take your eyes off of the game and do all that stuff where it's all on one screen.
So obviously there's a lot of stuff going on in the NFL right now with the national anthem and everything. I don't know if you saw, but some fantasy owners are coming down on their own team and basically benching anyone who kneels. Do you think that's fair for fantasy owners to punish you in the fantasy world? Do you hear that? Do you feel that?
We probably won't feel the
feel
ripples
it?
from the
You
fantasy
sure?
world
No?
and that.
It's a little?
Not at all.
If a guy comes up and is like, "Hey, Matt, like I didn't like how you played, so I benched you." You're not yet a little bit in your head, just a little?
It doesn't bother me one bit. I probably look at him like, oh, okay.
It sounds like you
I
don't
couldn't
respect their
care less
First
about your
Amendment rights.
fantasy team. I'm worried about my real team.
You don't respect their First Amendment rights to bench players.
To bench players?
Yeah.
I do respect it. They can do whatever they want to. I was just saying it doesn't bother
Doesn't
me.
bother
They pay
you.
your salary, though.
Okay.
Huh?
Do they pay your salary?
Fans pay your
No,
salary.
the Jets pay my salary.
Oh, shit.
But
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about it that way.
yeah, we'll circle back on that one.
What if I wrote you a check for like $2? Then technically I paid part of your salary.
it still wouldn't matter to me.
Would you cash that?
I definitely would cash it,
Yes.
and I'd throw it in your face.
All right, so Matt, I think the most amazing part about your career, and it's still ongoing, even though I was going to make a joke like, how's retirement going? Because you're playing for the Jets, but I didn't. Well, I just did. But 10th season as a running back, which is like very rare in the NFL. How have you been so durable for so long and still be able to produce as a running back? Because you see running backs, it's a young man's game, and it's like, a couple of years and then they're out.
Going into it, you have to have the mindset of wanting to be consistent as a running back. Because I've always told guys, like, there's a lot of times some guys come out and they have one good season, or they put together, one season here, then you don't hear from them, and then there's a decent one here. But if you can, consistently be a good player, coaches keep you around because they know what they're going to get out of that player. Mm-hmm. And also the way you take care of your body. It kind of evolves as you continue to play. I know when I first came in the league, I didn't really know diet-wise what was good things to eat, post-game and pre-game as well. So just reading up on stuff like that and watching some of the older guys that were on the team, how to be a professional. Like, when I came in, there was, it was a lot more. I think the game's getting younger where there's not many long tenured careers. Mm-hmm. But when I first came in, you got Brian Urlacher, you got Lance Briggs, Tommy Harris, Peanut Tillman. You got mm-hmm. these staples that were on the team. So I watched them to see what they were doing physically to take care of their bodies as well with chiropractors, acupuncture, massage, all that stuff, and you kind of incorporate all those things mixed in with nutrition to try to stay healthy as you can.
Do you think back onto your time with the Bears when Peanut Tillman was in the locker room and like you're rewinding and you're like, did I tell him anything that I was doing that was illegal because he's an FBI agent now?
No, I talk to Peanut a lot, even now after that, he's been playing, and even when he went to Carolina as well. Mm-hmm. And I used to always mess with him, tell him, am I going to get in trouble? Well, I'm doing this right now or whatever.
He's a narc now.
Do you think Peanut will ever find who stole Lance Briggs' Lamborghini?
I think that's the first thing on his list.
The first case he's
got to crack. The first case he's got to crack.
Right. I have a theory about your longevity, and you can tell me if this is intentional or not, or something you even thought about. I always thought your running style, it's not – you have just a slipperiness about you that avoids that big hit. That huge, like, crushing hit. It's not like jumping out of bounds, but there's something about the way you've been able to run throughout your career. You never get, like, fully squared up.
That's what a good running back, a smart running back does too as well. But if you're a running back and you're running, 20, 30 times a game, like getting that rhythm. But when you're playing like that and you got, defenses coming, you got 11 guys trying to attack you at the same time. So your best bet is to make, be slippery, make moves like that to get them off of balance so that they can take the brunt of the hit and not yourself. Mm-hmm. So you never want to take a square-on hit unless, sometimes you have to when you're blocking somebody.
Right.
Because, they're coming straight downhill like a linebacker. So that's the only choice you have. But when you're running the ball, your best bet is to do a glancing blow where you can, like, slip. Because at that point, sometimes that's how you break tackles.
Right.
And when you can, you can take the ball longer.
What about pregame stuff? Did you ever want to do the Oklahoma drill at midfield? That probably makes you tougher, right? And less susceptible to injury.
I kind of wanted
Baylor
to do
does?
the NFL X when they do the
the XFL when they run out
the
steal the bacon kind of thing when they get the ball.
It's like what is it, like a scramble?
Yeah,
ball, whatever. That's
ball.
instead
and
of
then
coin toss.
The first 3 weeks they did it, I think it caused like 10 injuries.
Yeah, it was just two guys basically horse collaring themselves and like breaking their fibulas,
spraining their knees.
And then Jesse Ventura's like, I love this shit.
That's what the XFL is about.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Basically, you're an ex-NFL player.
Yeah, that's right.
All the injuries.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you went into free agency for the first time a couple years ago. When you were going into that, did you look at the Jets and you were like, they have Christian Hackenberg and Bryce Petty, so I'm going to get a shitload of carries?
Mm-hmm.
No, because they didn't have Christian Hackenberg at that time.
No, well, they had Bryce Petty and
Gino.
They had Gino.
No quarterback at that time.
Yeah,
they had.
Well, they
Gino.
still don't.
Hey, Josh is.
No, they got
Josh is a quarterback.
but they have three quarterbacks, so they don't have one.
You're right. Josh McCown is a better quarterback than me.
Yeah.
And you.
You've never seen me throw though.
I'm probably more durable though.
You're judging.
I haven't been injured in a while.
Okay,
I got bit by a dog like 10 months ago. Haven't been injured since.
The thing I didn't know about Matt Forte is you're a big book cover judger. You looked at us and you said that we couldn't be NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, I'm taking my bet. I'm not a bet man, but I'm taking my chances on
Doug Flutie was small.
Yeah, true.
That's one
People
out of.
forget
I have
that.
prototypical quarterback size.
You do.
I'm
You look good in shorts.
6'2",
Actually, no.
6'3",
But not-
245.
You look good
35,
in
30,
sweatpants.
235.
What scale is that?
That's
Is that on the moon?
I get fully naked, and then I don't eat for a week, and then I'm 235. Who's the best quarterback you played with?
That I played with?
Loaded question.
Let me see. I've played with Rex Grossman, Kyle Orton, Jay
pretty damn
Cutler,
good. Caleb
and,
Haney, Jason
Caleb
Campbell,
Haney, Jason Campbell, yeah.
Brian
Josh
Hoyer.
McCown. Hoyer went there when I was
Todd
there.
Collins,
No, yeah, Hoyer.
Todd
You played with
Todd?
Collins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Todd Collins.
Yes.
future Hall of Famer.
I think.
Not sure which hall, but
I mean, they're
Jimmy
all
Clausen?
they're all good. They're all good. They're in the NFL, so that means they're all good.
So the answer was Kyle Orton.
All those guys.
Okay, we can go. You can go with Kyle Orton. I'll say Kyle Orton. That's fine. Who
He had the best neck beard.
Who had the best
Kyle Orton.
presence in the huddle?
Best huddle presence. I had to say Josh.
Okay,
Josh
I knew you were
McCown.
going to do that. That's such a cop out. God damn it. Oh, man.
It's true.
When you were a free agent,
Well, let's explore that a little bit. What is it
Yeah.
about Josh? Because I have heard from a lot of people, and like
He is.
you hear announcers talk about it all the time,
Yeah.
that he's a guy that you want in your locker room. He's a good like team guy. So what is
Yeah.
it about Josh that
Josh-
has kept his career so long?
Josh is, I mean, you don't stay around for 15, 16 years in the NFL, especially being a quarterback, not having that charisma about you. He has that leadership type of mentality, that character where he makes guys better. He wants the best out of you. He'll pull that no matter what. He's going to tell the truth to you too. And he'll tell a young guy, the hardest thing, that they need to hear is if they're playing bad or anything. He'll tell them what they need to hear. He's not going to tell them, something just to stroke their ego or something,
Right.
just because they may be a
Well, he's
first
not
round
a
pick
big
or something
stroke
like
guy.
that.
Do you ever bust his balls because he doesn't masturbate?
What?
He
doesn't
masturbate.
watch porn.
You never seen that PSA that he did? Where he's like, I don't watch
No,
porn.
He's
Oh,
anti-porn.
yeah?
Well, I don't watch
Ask him
porn
about
either.
that.
So
What?
Yeah, neither
No,
do I.
That's a lie.
I have a
Yeah,
wife.
None of us do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Never watch porn. What is
That's
it?
sad. People that watch porn.
Hank, do you know what porn is?
You guys watch porn?
No,
No.
none of us watch
Porn's
porn.
gross.
That's gross.
You guys
Yeah,
are terrible.
yeah.
what that
Josh,
does to
you
you?
should bring that up to Josh McCown. Just be like, hey man, I don't watch porn either.
Maybe he doesn't watch.
Pound.
Well, maybe he just listens to porn.
Oh,
Maybe he's a big ears guy.
okay.
That's all it
I
takes.
definitely
makes
would
sense.
shake his hand after doing that.
Yeah,
And
you can
guys-
shake his hand.
That's
No,
why
it's
people-
not- yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
people-
shaking y'all's hand.
yeah.
No.
Well,
Actually,
we don't
I'm
watch
kind of
porn.
mad that when I first greeted you guys immediately stuck your hand out. You shouldn't do that
Don't
to
know where
people
that's been.
knowing
Yes,
that you
that's
guys
true.
do that.
It's a
That's
classic
true.
prank.
That's
Before
true.
you meet somebody, you ask them, "Do you jack off?"
Yeah.
And then only if they say no, then you can shake their hand.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna start doing that.
When you were a free agent, how close were you to going to the Packers?
Not very close. I mean,
Okay, good.
they drew small interest. They said they were interested, but that's the only thing.
Okay,
they said.
can I coach
They
you up
didn't
here?
tell me to come on a visit or nothing like
Yeah,
that.
what you got to say is no. The Packers disgust me. A Chicago Bear for life. That's what you should say.
Yeah. I mean,
You could say that.
played for Chicago for 8 years. I'm gonna be a Chicago Bear for life.
There, you are a Bear
Yeah.
for life. If you play for 1 second, you're a Bear for life. What about when Brandon Marshall said that he cost you a Super Bowl ring? Did you?
I think Brandon. I mean, although that's very nice of Brandon, I think he thinks a little more highly of himself than, I don't
No.
think you cost me a Super Bowl.
Right.
I'm a grown man. I make my own decisions.
Right,
in
because
that
his story
aspect,
is that he convinced you to come to the Jets instead of going to the Patriots.
No, I mean,
Patriots.
I during free agency, the Jets gave me the most. I mean, they offered me a contract. No other team offered me anything. When I was about to sign with the Jets, then the Patriots called, and
Classic Belichick.
I mean, I was like literally inking
classic
the line.
Belichick.
And
he
I,
like slides the
just-
other contract underneath.
just the type of guy I am morally. I just felt like I'm already agreed to these guys, and I told them that I was going to sign here. I'm signing here.
Belichick wanted to pick your brains about what you learned about the team facility.
Yeah.
He just wanted to know
Yeah.
what the blueprint of the Jets practice facility was.
Right.
Yeah, you might have.
Once you get in the door. What about the coaches you've had in the NFL? They've all been kind of quiet coaches.
Yeah.
Mark Trestman.
Yeah, well,
He's a big rah-rah guy.
This is my backwards way of getting to Mark Trestman. They all been quiet coaches, but some of them been really nerdy. Mark Trestman, thoughts?
Trestman is he was a great offensive coordinator. As a head coach, he
that's
struggled
true. Yep.
with us. A lot of the veteran guys struggled with him because of how a lot of times your team is going to take on the mentality of the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, with Coach Bowles, everybody, kind of sees him in the media as quiet, but behind, the media with us, we know his real character, his personality. He's a former player as well, so he knows how to amp us up and get us hyped for games and motivate everybody. Same thing with Lovey. But Coach Trestman, it was more like kind of the nice guy approach.
Right.
Which that doesn't work in NFL. I mean, I'm a nice guy as well, but when I'm on the field, like, I'm trying to put my foot on your throat. You know what I mean? So it didn't work that way.
So was the story that he addressed the room from the back of the locker room when he tried to speak to the whole team? Was that true? Was he that kind of he didn't have that charisma in front of the locker room, trying to get?
He moved around when he talked.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was trying to make sure people weren't sleeping or something.
Yeah.
But he moved around. He'd be kind of.
I also have this is a theory of mine, which you can tell me is stupid and wrong, but the NFL people don't realize that the offense and defense aren't as much as their teammates. They go at each other all training camp, and if one side is not pulling the weight and the other side feels like it's the only one contributing, there's some tension there. And the Bears went from a defensive team with Lovey, where that was the identity of the team, to an offensive team with Mark Trestman, and there was that tension there where guys were you're not pulling weight back and forth. Does that hold any merit in terms of NFL locker rooms, offense and defense not always getting along?
Stupid. No, I'm just playing. No, I mean, I don't think it's to where the fact that offense and defense don't get along. We do during camp, tension builds because you're ready to play somebody else besides your teammates all the time. But I don't think it was such that the identity of the team changed from defense to offense, which it did, but not necessarily because of the coach. I think it was because the players that
personnel, yeah.
The personnel, because they got rid of Urlacher, a face of the defense and stuff, which he still had, I think, a year or two left that he wanted to play. And then, that pissed off some of the guys like Lance Briggs and Peanut and all those guys. So you lose credibility with them, and it just kind of, was downhill from there.
I think you, in a backwards way, you just said that my point was correct.
Basically, what Big Cat does,
your point was okay.
Big Cat just mansplained your own team to you.
Then Matt agreed. But he agreed with me that the defense basically was.
You're gaslighting him into agreeing with you right now.
Yeah, hey, that's fine.
So you're from Slidell, Louisiana, originally. I actually did some research on Slidell. Lee Harvey Oswald is from Slidell.
Is he?
Yeah. Did that make you more aware of
Had no idea.
That make you
made that up?
Yeah. No.
I don't believe you because you wear sunglasses.
Wikipedia says it, so it must be true. I was just wondering if that made you more conscious about the effects of head injuries. Was head injuries a big emphasis growing up in Slidell, Louisiana? Because they're hey, never forget Lee Harvey Oswald, our most famous alum.
I beg to differ.
Do they have a statue of Lee Harvey Oswald?
No,
in Slidell?
No, definitely not. On me.
That'd be problematic. If they did.
Do you think that they're in Chicago that people care too much about the '85 Bears?
You can't care too much about the '85 Bears because, the '06 Bears went. Unfortunately, didn't win. I think if '06 team would have won, then there'd be a little, less craziness about the '85 Bears. But that's the one championship that they can hold on to, and a lot of people are still alive from that era.
Yep.
So they're gonna hold on to that.
Did you ever It's always fascinating because playing in Chicago, everyone loves the Bears, but there is that feeling of '85 Bears, and then no one even people somehow care more about the '85 Bears than they do the current team. Did that bother you at all?
No, because I wanted to be like the '85 Bears.
Yeah.
So I would. I wish when we were there, when we went to NFC Championship and
would have won a Super Bowl if Jay didn't hurt his knee.
Yeah, and
fact.
Fact.
That's actually a fact.
And I think those guys. You still see Richard Dent and Otis Wilson, all those guys around, and you're immortal. You win Super Bowl in Chicago.
True.
When Jay Cutler got hurt, many of us in the national media, the ones who pay your salary, said that Jay Cutler was being a big pansy because he didn't play on his torn MCL.
You keep saying that. You don't pay anybody's salary.
I buy Madden once every 5 years.
If we didn't cover the
money
sport,
goes to you.
who would know that you guys were even playing?
The people who don't do the media.
But
like
the fans. But we're also fans.
You're fans too?
Yeah, we're fans
Double
and
dip.
media.
We wear many hats.
We do both.
So let me take off my team owner hat, fantasy football team owner hat, and put on my fan hat.
Yeah.
Was Jay Cutler a big pussy for not playing on a torn MCL?
On a torn MCL?
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's his decision.
I did a podcast on a broken foot, so.
Yeah, I got bit by a
that's
dog.
tough.
I already mentioned that.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Those are both very tough.
Yes. Yes.
But you guys aren't quarterbacks. So,
Yeah.
Well,
we play hurt all the time. I had a head cold last week. Still did a podcast.
I mean, yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
You guys are doing this interview with those faces.
That's
actually having a shitty
that's got to be painful.
Having a shitty face
gotta be painful.
It's an asset. As long as we stay like in the speaking mode.
People,
as long as we don't start getting in front of cameras.
Well, people expect a lot less of you when you have a shitty face. Like we walked in and you looked at us and you're like, these fucking guys.
Yeah.
And we kind of already are. We already
Immediately,
have kind of
I was like,
already kind of
the bar is so low that if we can just kind of like almost roll over it,
I like that.
We did an okay job.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Do you think me and Big Cat could beat you up if it was 2-on-1?
Oh, definitely not. I would.
You got
got
injured last week.
I would one hitter.
injured.
I'd one hitter quitter you.
Oh.
And then
Why
I would
you
just
punching me first?
because you're bigger than him. I know he can't do anything.
You know,
so
low.
Yeah, low man wins.
I'm gonna knock you out first with one hit, and then I'm just gonna go to town on you.
Listen.
I'm just gonna.
I know that you run
put you in a
scared
headlock
sometimes.
and
I
just-
run behind my pads. All right, I'll square up
Run
with you.
squared.
Yeah.
Oh, you said scared.
You said you run
behind
scared.
I run behind my pads.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
have
coach
no
used to
pads.
tell me.
You have no pads.
Here's a good question. How much does that necklace cost?
You don't ask anybody that.
Yeah, why not?
My wife got
We're
it. for
talking
me.
about jumping you, so we
My wife
just
got it
want to
for
see.
me.
I want to kind of assess.
How much is that? What is that?
It's a Fitbit Blaze.
You got the nerve to have a Fitbit?
I got the.
Oh, you must have just started that.
That's the
Did
whole
you just
point.
get that?
That's the whole point.
How old
I
is
gotta
that
get my
Fitbit?
steps. I
get
got to
his
get my
steps.
steps in. I'm not going to the gym and get my
So
steps
did you
in.
set the bar low on that too?
No, it's 10,000 steps a day. I get it like once a week. It's not bad.
Set the bar low.
Yeah, exactly.
I got it.
Do any NFL players play with a Fitbit on?
Ooh,
How many steps would you get in a game?
I have no idea.
you should do it.
It might
sometime.
blow the watch up. if
Yeah.
I did. But I did see one of my teammates was doing walkthrough. He had one of those Fitbits on.
Yeah.
Kelvin Beachum had
Yeah.
one on.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, why do you have a Fitbit on?
Gotta get those steps in.
Right.
That's
He wants
what
to
I'm
make sure he
saying.
gets his exercise
Yeah.
in during an NFL practice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do the Jets do any of that weird stuff where they put like GPS trackers and stuff
Yeah,
on you?
see how much you're practicing and stuff, your heart rate and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Do they check
So that's a Fitbit. That's the same thing as a Fitbit.
Not all the time though.
Do they check your pee after practice, like Chip Kelly?
Before?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like
Make sure you're hydrated.
every day?
Yeah.
Not every day. It's random. We did it. Well, everybody did it this past week because it was like 140 degrees on the turf. So we did it last week every day, but depends on how the weather's going to be.
I've always wondered this about running backs, especially like now today more stadiums are changing to field turf. Do you like running on field turf or natural grass better?
I like natural grass better. If the field turf is like MetLife's has a lot of rubber pellets in it and it's softer, but sometimes you get those that are like kind of packed down in there and it's harder. But yeah, I grass any day.
The sandbox of Soldier Field. Grass any day.
Yeah,
Yes, that's not
Hey,
that's
but
not real grass.
I like
That's
Soldier
not real
Field
grass.
though,
Yeah.
because you wear those spikes in there. Everybody's not prepared for it.
Right.
If you notice, all the premier pass rushers that come to Soldier Field, they never have the greatest games, or sometimes they get shut
bleep
down.
this out because I don't want people to notice. It's like the only edge we have. All right, Matt, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We appreciate your time and you roasting us. Good luck in your retirement with the Jets.
Thanks, guys.
That interview is brought to you by Blue Apron. Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. Their mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone. They achieve this by supporting a more sustainable food system, setting the highest standards for ingredients, and building a community of home chefs. Blue Apron has established partnerships with over 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the United States. As a result, their seafood is sourced sustainably under standards developed in partnership with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. Their beef, chicken, and pork come from responsibly raised animals, and their produce is sourced from farms that practice regenerative farming. Because Blue Apron ships the exact amount of each ingredient required for recipe, they are reducing food waste. Here are some of the delicious upcoming meals they've got. They've got cheesy chicken and black bean enchiladas with salsa verde, shrimp marinara with spaghetti, spinach and parsley, maple gravy smothered pork chops with stewed collard greens and sweet potatoes, and spiced cauliflower and pepper with jasmine rice and cilantro yogurt sauce. That sounds pretty good to me. And it's affordable for less than $10 a meal. They will deliver the seasonal recipes along with pre-proportioned ingredients to make delicious home-cooked meals. And check out this week's menu and get $30 off your first meal with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/pardon. You're going to love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron. So don't wait. Go to blueapron.com/pardon. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. The interview is also brought to you by BetDSI. BetDSI.com has been in business for over 20 years, paying winners. They're A+ rated on most sportsbook review sites. You can use your sports knowledge to make some extra cash. Their easy-to-use mobile playing interface is super simple. You play, you win, you get paid. BetDSI offers odds on everything football, including live betting and props as games are in action. Plus, you can bet on other stuff too, including all major sports, politics, reality TV, pretty much anything you want, they got it. Use promo code TAKE25 and get $25 off. Or get a $25 free wager just for registering. If you decide to deposit, you're going to get a 200% bonus match on your money. I play there myself, and I recommend BetDSI. If you want to add a little excitement to the games, go to BetDSI.com, use promo code TAKE25, get a free $25 wager on the house, and 200% extra bonus when you deposit. That's TAKE25 for your free wager, and start winning today.
All right, let's get to some segments. Thanks to Matt Forte for joining us. By the way, the fucking fly is still here. It's bothering the shit out of me.
It's a nice ongoing subtext to this episode.
It's really, really pissing me off. All right, let's start with Clutch Gene. This goes out to Pablo Sandoval. You remember him. He's the fat third baseman for the Giants, formerly
of the body shame here.
Okay. He's large. He's large.
He's portly.
He's large and in charge.
He's a portly gentleman.
He is also.
He's a guy that broke his belt by swinging a baseball bat.
Yeah, so he's not fat.
No,
he just shit happens.
Bad belts.
I've had buttons pop off many times.
Unreliable craftsmanship.
Yeah. So Clutch Gene, he hit a walk-off home run to end the baseball season.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, except that winning that game bounced the Giants from the first overall pick in the upcoming MLB draft.
So it was actually the worst possible time to hit a walk-off home run.
Yes.
Longest he's walked in a while, though, which is nice. He needed the exercise. Got out for a nice little stroll. And then you were saying that people were arguing, like, why didn't they pull Pablo out of the game?
Well, no. The argument could be, well, just play the scrubs and throw the game. But Pablo Sandoval is the scrub. He went 0 for 39 at one point this year, which I think was a Giants record. So he is the scrub. And then all of a sudden, you know what, though? You can't blame Pablo because he's got a couple World Series rings. He knows when October is. The calendar turned. He's like, oh, this is my time. I'm gonna hit this dinger.
Mr. October, Pablo Sandoval is what many people are calling him.
Yeah, no, I mean 68-win Giants.
Yeah, I mean good for him. I guess he's still got it. Like how many home runs did he have this year? One?
I think
three,
4. I don't know. We don't have stats.
No, we don't.
Sure,
we don't,
whatever.
Yeah.
4. He had 4.
What was the exit velocity like on there?
It was 106.
Okay.
With a launch angle of 47.
Good for him.
Yeah. Next up, we have you heard the fantasy experts on Friday. Because there are a lot of fantasy football podcasts that jump us in the podcast rankings. So we have a new little segment here, a debut of a segment, because we noticed when the podcast rankings come out, a lot of the NPR, a lot of the super intellectual podcasts have jumped us.
Allegedly intellectual.
Allegedly
I mean, it's stuff like Malcolm Gladwell where he could just, honestly, if you sound boring enough when you talk, I'll probably believe what you're saying is true.
So this new segment is called Pardon My Woke. And Hank, why don't you hit the music? Welcome back to Pardon My Woke. The NFL has recently ramped up their efforts on becoming a global game. The rousing match between the Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints this past weekend proved that football, which in England is football or yogo bonito, is capturing the hearts and minds of Europe. Today we welcome on Taylor X, professor in etymology, to discuss this evolution. Taylor was the first male to graduate from the all-women's college Bard and received a PhD in global sports and how they impact the gender restrictions we put on ourselves. He has a book coming out next month titled CTE, Culturally Traded Ethnicity, How the NFL Impacted a Long-Lost Tribe in Amazonia. Taylor, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's Pardon My Woke.
And please, first question, talk to us about the evolution of the name football.
Well, I'd like to actually do something a little bit different here. I noticed a lot of overseas chatter about the global game of footy today. And as other cultures are becoming more exposed to American football, Hank, can you bleep out the word American football?
The A-word.
There will be natural questions raised surrounding the physical and mystical aspects of the game, most closely drawing from Wiccan lore, as well as ancient Greek concepts of pandemonium. Many new audiences become curious about the physical and more so the philosophical implications of having an end zone that extends into infinity. Wow. So we explore what that means. What is infinity? Does the pylon exist? Does the existence of the end zone therefore presuppose that God exists? If so, which God? Is she an altruistic God, or is she a vengeful one? And if God experiences emotions as a human, then does it not stand to reason that God at once experiences sexual arousal, engagement, completion, or release? Could the penetration of the infinite plane of the end zone be God's regenerating hymen? We don't know, but one thing's for sure, England is bonkers for football.
Wow. Thank you, Taylor. If you wanted to listen to this podcast written out, we have the transcript for it on NPR, and then the transcript is then put on Audible, which you can listen to back.
I love Audible because I like to read and listen to the same book. It's like I'm experiencing it in all my senses.
All right, that was part of my woke.
So we better jump some of these dumb motherfuckers.
You better fucking that. If you want to get woke, just, hey, listen, everyone out there, if you have a parent that's like, I don't know if I want to listen to these guys, make a bunch of formally make a bunch of Rick Pitino sex jokes and piss their pants and be idiots.
Not anymore.
Play them this segment and be like, it's this great new podcast I found. It's part of my take.
You learn something new every single time I listen to it.
Inside part of my take, and you'll learn everything. We'll see how that goes. Again, that's probably needs the music. So all these segments, they're a little weird when we do.
I honestly can't wait for the fancy football experts to make their return on Friday.
Yeah. Sit them. All right, here we go. Hurt or injured, Odell Beckham.
Yeah, I feel like we've been playing this game with Odell a lot. So he popped his finger out, and then he popped it back in.
Odell is actually, I'm gonna throw this out there. Odell might be the new J.J. Watt in terms of always like being injured and showing how he's in. Like he has the injuries that he then plays through those injuries. Kind of a Tiger Woods thing. Tiger, he used to he would just really milk it when he was starting to do bad, and he just my back, but I'm gonna gut it out. That's kind of Odell. Yeah, he has a little bit of that. My finger. Wow, let's do 1 million sideline reports on my finger while I keep playing.
And usually it's from something like kicking like a sideline net into your face.
Yeah,
and so that's why you're hurt. When he got off the boat, there were rumors that he had severe nosebleeds as well. Kind of a J.J. Watt-esque thing as well, if you know what I'm saying.
A little crack the crown of his nose.
Yeah, just
maybe the inside of it. Either way, I am so excited for where this Giants season is going because Odell Beckham and Brandon Marshall and Eli Manning's dumb face where he's catching flies in his mouth.
And Ben McAdoo.
0-4, keep losing this thing. It's coming. It's coming. The fight in the locker room is coming, and it's going to be a good one.
Well, so Brandon Marshall would whoop the shit out of Odell Beckham.
Yeah, but has he even caught any balls? I feel like Brandon Marshall isn't even around anymore.
He's not. I don't think. Yeah, is he on the team?
All his powers have been taken away. So if he bitches, everyone will be like, okay, Brandon. I mean, it used to mean something because he was like an unbelievable talent. Now I think he's just. I don't know. Stick to inside the NFL.
So, do we know which finger it was that he dislocated? Was his index finger?
It's probably his middle finger.
Motherfucker. He was probably flipping off the coaching staff.
Yeah, exactly. We also wrote down Sean Lee, but that's not really hurt or injured. That's just an
you think Sean Lee's hurt again?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Sean Lee. Mr. Fiberglass, or no, not fiberglass, Mr. Glass,
Mr.
regular glass,
plexiglass.
No, plexiglass is pretty durable.
Is it?
Yeah.
What kind of glass is? Dragon glass.
Bong glass.
Mr. Dragon glass.
Never has a bong been dropped that didn't break.
Oh, Mr. Cell phone screen glass.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what Sean Lee's body's made out of, but they should harvest his hamstrings to make iPhone screens.
All right. We next up have a PR 101. Did you hear this? Did you hear about this one? Did you see this one? OJ got released.
OJ's out.
I don't know if you saw it because there was a lot of jokes going around on the internet. This is OJ Simpson really brings out the worst in everyone's joking abilities.
I'm so disappointed. I renounced OJ Simpson once I learned that he stole back some of his own sports merchandise.
Yes.
To me, that was the last straw.
A bridge too far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I do have some PR 101 for OJ, though.
Okay.
So, yeah, the whole world is against you, probably for good reason.
Allegedly.
Not the whole world.
Not the whole world.
Allegedly,
Al Collins is still out there, right?
AC is out there driving him.
Yeah.
AC's probably driving Uber right now, as we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
But I think OJ really has one option if he wants to get back into the good graces of America. Well, actually, two options. So one, he could do another Police Academy movie because he was awesome in those.
He wasn't.
He was so.
No, in
Naked Gun.
Yeah,
Naked Gun movies.
Someone got problematic for a second there. It was the other big black guy in the Police Academy movies.
I've actually never seen the Police Academy movies.
Okay, next.
So that's number one.
Might have to take you to part of my woke.
Number two, if he really wants to be a success in America again, go kill Bill Cosby.
Ooh.
So if OJ just straight up murdered Bill Cosby, I think you'd see a lot of people forgive him. Forgive and forget.
True. I like that.
I think OJ, if you look at the favorability ratings, he's probably the second most hated celebrity.
Yeah.
Behind Cosby.
Yeah. He's probably going to, although, a little spin zone for him, he's probably going to end up like putting himself with his family, the Kardashians, and that will kind of spiral out of control as well. He also did have his own PR 101. Did you see him signing out of jail?
No.
Full Canadian tuxedo.
Oh, great.
Sorry.
I like it.
Yeah,
you can't be mad at a guy rocking denim.
Double denim on top, denim on bottom. Mm-hmm. That guy doesn't murder people.
No, that guy's just like hanging out at a ranch smoking Marlboro Reds. Yeah.
Right. He's just give him a Molson and maybe a little peanuts in there.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
He'll take you fishing.
4 home runs.
Okay.
Thank you. Good stat. So 1/4, 25%. There's another stat for you of his home runs came on the last game of the season. All right. Before we get to the end of the show here, we have a bad Sports Town Barcelona. They played a soccer game in front of no one?
In front of nobody.
No one.
But that's because of violence, like in the area. But still,
no one showed up.
For the game.
No one showed up in Barcelona.
They said it was because of like localized violence related to an election.
Yeah, police beating up people trying to vote.
Yeah, but my understanding of Spain is just that like you go out to eat at midnight.
Yeah.
And then you go to the soccer stadium later at like 2 a.m. and the game's already been over for the last 8 hours.
Nope, you mess it up a little. You go out to eat at midnight, and then a bull chases you to the soccer stadium at like 2 in the morning.
And then on your way in, you just throw rotten tomatoes at each other.
Right, exactly.
That's also a big
Spanish
part
culture.
of Spanish culture.
So that was talking soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your games, Barcelona. All right, last up we have a That's Enough Internet and / a drunk idea. Why don't you hit us with the That's Enough Internet?
So there is a person who started a charity called Flutes Across America that's been donating flutes.
Oh, that's fun. Oh.
Yeah, donating a lot of flutes to school children.
Cool.
Turns out that he was just soaking all the flutes in semen before he donated them. So they arrested him.
A nice soak.
And then he was just squirting all over the flutes and giving them to elementary school kids.
What's the end game here? What's the where do you get off on that?
Well, he got off all over the
right,
the
but then
mouthpieces.
like what's the extra off?
I
think giving it away.
It's more of doing it for the love of the game.
It's just an alpha thing.
Yeah, no, it's love of the game type stuff. You sit at home and you just know, hey, my semen is just everywhere out there.
Yeah,
these kids don't even know.
Here's
my first clue that this guy was up to no good was that he cared so much about flutes. I don't trust anybody that really cares about anything.
Not a man.
No,
women, because they put it in their vagina.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
band camp. Right.
Sex talk.
Really smart to. Yeah, I mean, like year 2016, no one can track DNA, right? Let me just put my DNA on everything.
Right. That now that I think about it, I was about to say
perfect crime.
I was about to say it was a perfect crime, but it's not at all. But the clue that you can take from this is just don't trust people that are into things at all.
Yeah.
Like
if someone has something they like too much, they probably are an asshole or a weirdo.
Honestly, if this guy came to me and said, I have a goal to distribute a flute to every single school child in America, I would have been like, why? Are you going to jerk off on him or something?
Right, exactly.
Like
what are you doing?
Yeah,
you putting up your ass? What are you doing?
That's a really strange thing to want to do.
Something's off.
I can only assume you're going to be cranking off onto him.
Something's going on here. No one just buys flutes and gives them away to children.
If a man has like over 20,000 things of a particular thing in his house, he's jerking off onto
Well,
him.
no, if a man has a hobby, that's just a red flag.
Yes.
Hobbies are red flags always and forever. That's the truth. You either play video games or you watch sports. That's how men do it. All right, that's our show. We'll see you Wednesday. Like PFT said, I think we're going to have Max Scherzer.
Is that going to be Wednesday or Friday?
Friday. So look forward to that.
MLB Playoffs. We see you then.
Love you guys.
Shying away. I'll be coming for your love, okay? Take on me. Take on me. Take me on. Take on me. I'll be gone in a day or two. So needless to say, I'm at odds and ends, but that's me, I'm stumbling away. Slowly learning life is okay. Say after me, it's no better to be safe than sorry. Take on me. Take on me. I'll be gone in a day or two.
It's Pardon My Take, presented by Barstool Sports.